Welcome, I'm Shirley and you've dropped onto my channel Alchemy Needlework, and today I am doing a stitch along. This is my first stitch along. I've had practice runs where I've been trying to find the best position for the camera and everything, and today we are doing a cross stitch from Bothy Threads, and it's the 12 days of Christmas, and I'm currently working on this section here. I've only started it yesterday, which was the 8th of August, and I'm hoping to get this done for Christmas, so we'll have to get stitching. So this is going to be my current focus project. I have got all my threads here. I'll just show you on my Tantus. Here it's all sorted. Just going to thread this needle. I hope you've been keeping well, and I'd like to thank everyone who has recently subscribed to my channel. I will get back and respond to some comments, and from those comments I am thinking of ideas of doing some videos, so we'll see how things go. Right, so we're here. I'm using the English cross stitch for this, over with 2 strands over one, which is 1 stitch, and this is a 14 count Aida, and it's the easy count Aida. I have just substituted it from the one that we had. Basically, because I couldn't be asked to grid. That is it. The last couple of grids I've done, it's been horrendous. My eyesight and counting has been completely off. That's that too. Then I need to go to this one. This is quite an easy pattern to follow. It's really good and clear. Just for now, I'm just going to bring my end of my stitch up to here so I can catch it with the next load of stitches. So that one's not parked, that's the end. They're parked, and this one's parked. So we want some more inverted T, which is number 23 on here. I always convert my cotton threads and symbols to numbers. Find it a lot easier to work. Just means I've got a lot of looking between papers, but I find it the easiest. So I just basically number the threads, put them in position either on this or on a packet, a needle thread holder, and just carry on like that. Occasionally I leave if the flosses are labelled quite well on the card, I'll leave them on the card, but I always sort of go in put them in numbers so I know where I am. So I'm going to just start here. I'm doing the loop method, starting. I find that the English cross stitch or the simple one cross stitch is brilliant because I can travel quite easily. That one doesn't look very good. That's right. I'm misreading the. And if you hear some weird sounds while I'm stitching, it could be one of the cats, the one's out, or it could be the number 2 son that's sort of roaming through, because I'm in the living room today. I don't have a stitch room per se. I have a corner that I sit in the living room, and I have a room upstairs that I keep stuff for my filming and things like that. I might eventually, when it's winter, go back upstairs, but it's far too warm up there at the moment and the light can be horrendous. And here I've got a big ass window at the front which lets a lot of light into the room. Go. I've had some fun trying to suss out how the best to film this, and I found a feature that I didn't even know I had on the camera stand. So this is a really good learning experience for me. Stitching wise, what have I done? I've started the Last Supper and then restarted it. I had fun. I realised that the grid I miscounted and I had several 11 and 12 squares, so it was putting me out. So I used the opportunity to restart and resize the project. It's now being counted on 14 count. Instead of being on 14 count, it's now on 16 count, and I've used the EC grid with that. As I've learnt, they wash out, so that is fine by me. Let me just try and secure this one. Hopefully the gold will, when I stitch the gold in, it will hold it into place even more. Right, I've also started, so I'm just concentrating on the pattern here. I've also started on the cotton and twine sampler. That is going nicely. So when I want to take a break from this one, I'll be stitching on that one. So hopefully that will be done. And then my Faye Whitaker had a little backward step because I had to unpick all the face, and I'm just wondering if I've miscounted there with the grid as well. So gridding for me at this moment in time has not been a very good idea. And I was really annoyed with the Last Supper because it took me over a week to grid. So I think in future all I'm going to do is get this material. It's not much dearer than the others, it's just that we haven't got the or the place I looked at didn't have a load of colourways in that thing, but this is a nice neutral colour which will be fine for this project. So where are we now? We're back down here. I'm going to park this because I am now at the bottom of the square, so that's being parked. This project is going to be really interesting to do because of the back stitching, the couching, it's got beads in, and charms, so we'll have some fun trying to sort this out. It says to use 2 strands over one, so this is a 6-strand gold thread, so I'm trying very gently to, excuse me, hands and mouths will go. And then I'm going to use my thread conditioner. This is Thread Magic. I've tried to look for some more. It's not very readily available like it used to be. But some thread conditioner, even beeswax, is really good. So when you're using these threads, the metallic threads, they tend to fray. So I tend to use this to just pull it along and hopefully have a little better slip with the going through the canvas. I can't think of what to say these days. That's a touch too long, but if with the amount I'm doing, if I do it any shorter, I'll be stopping and starting too many times. And this is where the needle threader is really useful to have, especially when they start getting spiky at the ends. I know some people will put the needle to the top of the hoop and use it from there, but I don't like that for some reason. Don't know. I don't envy my grandmother having to stitch with this all the time when she used to make cap badges and uniforms and things. And I bet the thread was a lot heavier in those days as well. So here we go again. I'm going to start in this corner and work my way across. So in there. And with this thread I tend to do a lot of railroading just to get it smooth. Just be gentle with the pulling because it just frays like really easy. It gets knotted really easy. That's why it's better to work with shorter threads than this, but I'm just not in the mood for stopping and starting. while I'm filming, because I usually weave my threads at the back, occasionally bringing it to the front if I don't have enough to pull through and do a good weave. Yeah, it's done it. You have to be careful that it doesn't loop on itself and it doesn't twist and it doesn't get caught and knotted at the back. I don't know why I chose to do this pattern. I don't think I realised they had the amount of gold thread, metallic thread that it has, but hey ho, it's what it is. I could have always substituted it, but then I wouldn't have got the design look that I liked. So I'm just pulling my needle all the way down to the bottom, up to the top, make sure I don't have too long of a tail, because sometimes that gets caught as well. Just pull it through. Just do a bit of a railroad. just going to use the last of this thread, doing that column up here. It's beginning to get a bit raggedy because I can feel it as it's going through the canvas. I think I might have just met my end. Let's have a look. I might just make it those last 3 stitches. Right, I'm just going to park this, well not park it, put it there, and I'll weave that into the back later. So that's that. Now do I go across or down? Whatever I use, I'm just easing my back. I'm going to be using gold for the first 20 stitches because if I go along there I'll be doing 20 stitches there. Which, or if I go downwards, I think I'll just leave those parked there and I'll work across the next 20 with the dreaded golden thread. It won't take me long to do 20 stitches across. If you want to ask any questions about why I do things in a certain way, please do so. Maybe it's just years of habit, it may be that that's the way I've been taught or been seen, or I've picked up along the way in my long stitching things. I mean, I haven't been constantly stitching. See, I've got a habit of doing the loop from underneath, but as I can't keep turning the frame up, I've started doing it from the top. Alright, that needs tightening up. Let me just do it from this end. I've got a stitch to catch and it's not caught, so what I'll do is this, and I'm going to go under with this one. Excuse me. I'm just securing that last stitch, and in doing so, that's it. I'll just park this one here. because I'll be continuing down that level. Right, so there we go. I have done that one. Now I need to get some blue. Right, welcome back. I lost you. The camera decided to switch itself off because it's finished its recording time, so I don't know when I got lost. I got carried away with stitching, but here we are. I'm going to have to make a run back to the beginning because the next row is a long row and it completes that lot. So I'm just going to go to this stitch, so I'm not travelling more than 4 stitches, and in my calculations if I cut the thread, wove it and wove it again, I would have used just as much or even more thread, so I'm just easing that back into here. Just trying to get the camera positioned properly so you can see. If any of you got any suggestions how I can position the camera for this in future, please let me know. I'd benefit from all your experience if you've done this stitch along before. But please don't tell me to stick my camera on the ceiling. It's not a cheap item for it to drop off. So we're carrying on with this. Another technique to getting your thread untangled is to just let it hang and spin. There's several techniques, but I might just railroad it for a stitch or two just to straighten it out. That's my 10. I'm going to finish on this row. I've been stitching long enough and I don't want to bore you to tears with all this blue stuff, but I hope you enjoyed the little bit that I have done today, and if you could give my video a like and comment, I'd appreciate it, and if you wish to subscribe, please do so. I'd love to have you join me on my stitching journey, and I'll see you in my next video. So just keep stitching.